Hey everybody, welcome to Hockey SKATEDOWN. Before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers. If you want to join our hockey team, it's free. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell to all. Thank you all so much, and let's get started. I want to do a video on the RFAs that I like, that had a really good year, and that a lot of teams may target it on, as their team's cap structure is not that good, and they're kind of tied up against the cap. So you may look at a lot of teams that are going to take advantage of that this offseason, as they may not want to look at free agency, and they may want to zero in on these younger kids and try to sign them, trade for them and sign them. So, let's get started. The first one I have is Kubalik Gurianov from the Dallas Stars. Left wing, $194,000 he's making this year. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. Nice frame. 23 years old. This year he played in 64 games. He had 20 goals, 9 assists, 29 points. Last year he split time between the NHL and the AHL. In the AHL he played in 57 games, had 20 goals, 28 assists, 48 points. And in the NHL, he played in 21 games, had 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points. So he had a good leap from last year to this year in the NHL. And in 17-18, he played in the AHL. He played in 74 games, had 19 goals, 15 assists for 34 points. So I like Gurianov. He's got good size. He can score, as you've seen him hit the 20-goal mark this year. And he played well with Dallas. Dallas has a great offensive team. And hopefully they can look to retain him, because he's a good player that's on the rise. Dallas Stars, they show this for the end of this year is $82 million. So they have a lot of money tied up into players, and it's going to be very interesting to see what they do. If they're looking to move out bodies to re-sign him, or if they're looking to trade him off for some assets. So definitely keep an eye on him. Next I have is Virtanen, from the Vancouver Canucks. He's a right wing, 23 years old, 1.25 million AAV, and 6'1", 226 pounds. He's a pretty big guy. And this year he played in 69 games, 18 goals, 18 assists, 36 points. In 18-19, he played in 70 games. He had 15 goals, 10 assists, 25 points. And 17-18, he played in 75 games. He had 10 goals, 10 assists, 20 points. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. He's not the best point-producing guy. But if you look at his stats over the last couple of years, he gets better each year. Puts up more goals, more assists, more points. He doesn't take as many penalties as he did the first couple of years, so he's learned how to mature his game. He plays a very well-rounded game, and he plays physical. And with that body, you want a big guy banging some bodies out there and helping out your little guys. So he'd be a good player to add. He's very well-loved by his teammates, and the fans love this kid because he puts in the work and he gets better year after year. So Jake Virtanen is going to be highly looked at by some teams, as he is one of those players that has shown an increase throughout the years, and maybe a player that a lot of teams want to look at. So definitely keep an eye on him, especially with the Toffoli situation. He's a UFA. He was playing well before the season went on pause. Could they re-sign him and kind of force him to get moved to bring in some assets? We're going to have to see. Next I have is Dominik Kubalik. And I like this kid from Chicago Blackhawks. Left wing, 24 years old, 6'2", 179 pounds, so pretty good frame. $925,000, and in this year he played in 68 games. He hit the 30 mark by scoring 30 goals, 16 assists for 46 points. And that goal he scored this year was really pretty, and it was on a lot of highlight reels for the week, for the month. It was the one where Taves made that saucer pass over someone's stick, and Kubalik batted it out of the air and scored. Pretty goal. This guy scores some nice goals, and he's clicking well with this team. Problem is, Chicago's got tied up against the cap. It shows them as $82.5 million for this year. They have a lot of players locked in for more than past this year and the next year, so they got a lot of players with some term. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do. They also have Dylan Strome, Drake Kajula, I think, is an RFA as well. So they're going to have a lot of question marks to see what they do with this team and who's going to keep, who they're going to keep, who they may move, and stuff like that. But Kubalik was a 30-goal scorer. They don't come often, so you're going to have to try everything to re-sign this kid. He played well with you guys, and hopefully they can and move out those other players for some assets and some cap room. So we'll see what happens with that. Next I have is Ilya Mikheyev from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Right wing, left wing, 25 years old, 6'3", 195 pounds, and he's currently making $925,000. This year he played in 39 games, 8 goals, 15 assists, 23 points. And I like Mikheyev. He was a question mark entering the season, and from the get-go, when I started watching him, you saw his size right off the bat. He's a tall kid. A little bit lanky, but, he's tall. He's very tall. And he could skate. He's fast. I saw him with a lot of breakaway speed at times, getting ahead of the play. He's got a knack for the net, and he could score. Problem is, he got injured with that laceration this year, so he needed time to get back because it was a pretty deep cut. And, thank God everything was okay with him. But I like this kid. I really do. Problem is, Toronto Maple Leafs are way up against the cap. Cap friendly shows 0. And I don't know what they're going to do with this kid. They're going to have a lot of question marks going into this season with their roster for the next year. Will they try to re-sign him and bring him back? From what I've last read with both sides, Mikheyev wants to come back. Toronto wants him back, but Toronto wants to see more of his game to see what they're going to offer him. So I don't know what's going to happen with this situation. Definitely keep an eye out on it because a lot of teams are going to look at Toronto Maple Leafs to try to acquire some players, and they're going to need to shed some cap space to make some moves. Next up, Jake Debrusk, left wing from Boston Bruins. He's currently making $863,000, 23 years old, 6 foot, 189 pounds. And he had a pretty good year this year. Played in 65 games, 19 goals, 16 assists, 35 points. 18-19, he played in 68 games, 27 goals, 15 assists, 42 points. And, 17-18, he played in 70 games, 16 goals, 27 assists for 43 points. And I like Jake Debrusk. He plays it with a physical edge. He plays a gritty game, and he can score, almost hitting the 30-goal mark. Not this year, the previous year. And his career high was his first year with 43 points. So he can help out in the score sheet. He can help out with that physical play. I like this kid. I really do. Just Boston's going to have a question mark because they're $81.7 million that they showed this year. They have a lot of players locked in for a lot of years with their team. They signed their core to these great contracts that are very team-friendly, so can they get him to sign one as well? I know they have a lot of key UFAs this year in Krug and Chara, so we're going to have to see what happens with this. Can they bring him back? Can they move some other players out to make some cap room? It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Boston this year and what their roster is going to be like heading into the offseason and into the next season. So definitely keep an eye on this. I think Boston's going to try everything to re-sign him. But with limited cap space, it may be an issue. So definitely keep an eye out on it. And Kevin Labanc. And this is one guy I really want the Devils to go after. I really like this kid. He's from the San Jose Sharks. He's a right wing. And he signed that great contract, $1 million for 1 year last year. He's 24 years old, born in New York. That's another thing, as if the Devils go after him. He's a local kid. And he's 5'11", 180 pounds. This past year, he played in 70 games, had 14 goals, 9 assists, 33 points. Wait, let me repeat that. 14 goals, 19 assists, 33 points. 18-19 was his standout year. 82 games played, 17 goals, 39 assists, 56 points. And 17-18, he played in 77 games, had 11 goals, 29 assists for 40 points. So I like this kid. And the thing I like is that San Jose was up against the cap this past offseason. And what did he do? He helped his team out by signing a 1-year, $1 million deal when he set his career high mark in points the previous year. So I like that. Maybe he can find a niche with a team, like it there, and sign a team-friendly contract with them as well. I like what this kid offers. He's got a scoring edge. He's good playmaker, and he puts up some pretty good points. So I think he'd be a good add for any team. Devils are weak on the right side, and they could make trades now before this. It's been said that all the teams that are not in the play-in rounds or waiting for the buys for the playoffs, those teams can make trades now. So the Devils can make a trade with the San Jose Sharks for this, and it would be a good add. San Jose is really tied up against the cap with $81 million. Don't know what's going to happen with the cap next year. Is it going to stay the way it was this year? Is it going to go down? Doubt it goes up. But I'd love the Devils to add Kevin Labanc. I think he's a great player, heart and soul player. Plays pretty well, and I think he'd be a good add, as the Devils are really weak on that right side. So these are the players I have as, not the biggest names out there, but pretty decent names. Other notable RFAs. The big names are Barzal, Reinhardt, Olofsson, Strome, both of them. Dylan and Ryan, I think, are both RFAs. At Tennessee, Mantha, Dubois from Columbus. I think Domi as well. So there's a lot of big names out there. A lot of these players will be retained by their teams as they'll get a new deal with them. But it'd be very interesting to see what happens with this, especially with the cap being such a question mark heading into the offseason. So comment below what you think about this video. Do you think any other RFAs would be suitable for your team? Let me know. Please smash that like button, subscribe to the hockey channel, join the hockey team. Thank you all for watching. Please still be safe out there. Continue to be safe. Have a great night. Have a great day tomorrow, and take it easy.